Hi, guys. So we don't have Troy yet. He's rushing home, and I apologize that we are on 6 minutes late because of the fact that I had to adult for a little bit. So adulting, it sucks.
It does suck.
Well, that's kind of the good thing about this show is that we're kind of touching back on all the stuff that from when we were kids, and so that kind of brings back that little bit of nostalgia from when you were 6, to 10 years old, when everything in the world was great, and the only thing you had to worry about was when the next time you saved up enough money to go to the store and buy the next toy.
Yeah, but we thought we had big problems back then when we were kids. And then you get older and you realize, oh my God, you don't even know. It's like, oh, my life sucks. It's like, what are you talking about? There's nothing wrong with you. You got no problems. What are you worried about? You got to hand in this assignment at school. That's what you're worried about.
I remember, my big fear was by the time I got in college, would they still have macaroni and cheese and Pringles, or would it be on to something different that I wouldn't be able to have that anymore because my mom would never buy us Pringles. So I was so worried that I wouldn't be able to have those ridiculous things that I worried about as a child. Eric, dang woman, always late. I know. I'm sorry. I had to adult. I apologize. So Troy is coming. There are grown-ups here. I hope not. I really do. Hey, Mark Show, how are you? Umpty. Golden's in here. Golden was in here early. Early. Golden's been in here since 6:53 p.m. In and out, I'm sure. So welcome. So we have Average Will down below, and we have Lumberjack Pops over here to, I guess that's my right. Oh, speaking of fashionably late, who's the woman now? There he is.
That'd be me. Hi, how you guys doing?
What's up?
How you doing, man?
Just been busy. I was like, man, I'm gonna be running late. Luckily, I got it together and was only 9 minutes late.
Well, that's okay. We were talking, and then I was like, oh my God, I didn't even upload the intro yet. I could have done that while I was in my meeting because they were babbling about somebody's new grandchild. I mean, it was cute because they're all about it and everything else, and but I only had the Zoom meeting until 7:45, and I'm like, okay, we got 3 minutes. What else you got left? So, what's going on, Jamie?
You ever fall asleep in a meeting? Like I was in a safety meeting once, and I was literally sitting like this. It was like 6 o'clock in the morning, and all of a sudden it's just like, bang! Ah! God, that hurt.
This is how you prevent that.
I had my head was on my face, and the next thing you know, it's like desk. Ow! I got the entire room's attention at this point. I'm like, oh.
I don't care enough. I just put my head down in my arms. I'm like, look, I really don't want to be here, but you don't want to fire me, so let's just agree for me to take this nap. I'd rather go that route. I can't do it.
Very, very true.
Well, I had like a red mark on my head for like a week.
Yeah, right.
With a goose egg.
That's it. It's like, oh my God, that hurts so freaking bad.
It's a giant zit. It's just a giant zit.
I wore my hat really low for the next week. I was like, okay.
Yeah, I might actually have to do my hair instead of going into work. Like today, I have like a long sleeve T-shirt on. It's for my grandma. Nice. And jeans, which is the nice thing. What are you doing with your finger?
Sorry, I have to do it on my phone, and like if I get messages through Facebook and all that, it blocks everything. So I'm trying to move it. Yeah, I know I'm like poking everybody in the face. Yeah, it's. I'm trying to get this computer to work. I'm gonna have it done by next week for sure.
So I don't think
you touch somebody's soul.
Right, yeah. I'm coming.
Right
there.
I don't think he'll show up, but it was interesting that one of the two that are supposed to be official Bill Murray accounts started following the channel when I mentioned them on the intro for tonight. So I would love
Bill Murray shows up. I swear to God, I'm gonna lose it.
Me too.
I'm like, what? What?
I mean, if you dropped it in, if you gave him a message with the link, all we can do is wait. We'll find out. And all I'm saying is, the guy's great, so you know he's going to make a random entrance that's going to be phenomenal. It's going to be at a time where we least expect it, to where we're all like, I'm going to be taking a drink, I'm going to start choking, not be able to say anything. So
there's been so many classic movies, and I know we're specifically talking about Groundhog Day, and you know I'm going to ask you guys the one question about Groundhog Day. But I mean, you've got Ghostbusters. I mean, you've got
Scrooge.
Yeah,
Scrooge was great. The fairy that keeps kicking his ass throughout the whole thing. It's like, pow!
I mean, What About Bob is another one. I said, "Good morning, Gil." I love that movie because the first time I saw it, I'm not gonna lie, Mr. Murray, if you're in here, I was annoyed with him, and then the second time I saw it, I saw the brilliance in the comedy. But in the Secret Life of, what is it, Steve? Is it Zazu or something? I don't even know. Royal Tenenbaums. I mean, there's been so many great movies, and he is such a chameleon. This is from Scrooged. And I loved him in Scrooge because you don't normally see him as a villain, but he gave some comedy to the villain of being Scrooge. And that's why I love the man, because he's such a chameleon. And my dad from Caddyshack, when he plays the groundskeeper, and he's like talking out of his mouth like this the whole time. I'm just gonna go here. It's just a baby Ruth. I mean, the guy's just brilliant. He really is brilliant. So we'll start with the movie tonight. So I'm going to ask you guys the question, because there's probably several days but if there was a day that you guys could relive over until you got it perfect, what would that day be?
You could have sent a message to me saying that was a question you were going to ask, so I could have had time to give an awesome answer.
I mean, sit and think about it. I'll tell you guys one of mine. And I remember that when I was in high school, and this is my most embarrassing moment, I wish I knew everything that I knew now so that I could have been cooler when I was back in my awkward days of my freshman year. So it had been snowing, road was icy. My mom decided not to pick me up that day, so I had to walk home. Only problem is that where the road was, because it had been snowing, was all slushy and slick. So falls, tries to get back up, falls again. Now I'm blocking 4 lanes of traffic of people trying to go home and all of the high schoolers needing to come back. Try to get up again, slip and fall again. I ended up crawling on my hands and knees across 3 lanes of traffic. People, thank God we did not have the video phones that we have now, because that would have been viral. Butt crack is out because I have no upper butt. I mean, I don't know why I got my dad's butt. So my butt crack is out. I couldn't even pull my pants up because all I'm doing is trying to figure out how to get out of the situation as quickly as possible. I would love to be able to redo that day over. I would either have spikes in so that I wouldn't slip and fall, that I could put on my shoes, or I would maybe wait or go a different direction, that I didn't have to go up that hill where all of that traffic was, so that it probably wouldn't have happened. And that's just a funny day. I'm not talking about any serious soul searching. I mean, there's been a lot of stupid things that I've done in my life that I would probably do over again. But I think that particular day was my first day here where I live now. And that might have changed my whole path through high school, because I was kind of known then as the clumsy one. And that has been a day that has always been embarrassing my entire life.
I mean, I was going to say, we've all been there when you said, oh, I was crawling across on my hands and knees. I couldn't get up. I'm like, oh, yeah, we've all been there. I hope nobody else has done that in 3-lane traffic. I don't think that normally doesn't end very well.
That sounds like a video game I used to play in the 80s.
Yeah, right.
Well, it wasn't like anybody got out to try and help me, see if I was okay. They were honking their horns at me, come on, go.
They don't want to suffer with you. The last thing they want to do is get out and fall and be laughed at too. They're like, you got it. Just keep crawling. You're fine.
You're almost there.
Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou. That's what I was thinking about. He's got so many pops out too. I mean, Peter Venkman is obviously one. Then okay, now someone explain to me, because I haven't seen the Zombieland with the Bill Murray. Is it actually Bill Murray in the movie, or did they just call that character Bill Murray?
Yeah, it's Bill Murray.
Oh, it's Bill Murray.
Yeah, he does such a good job.
Yes.
He does. His whole scene in that movie was just epic.
The problem was, so as soon as you see him, you're like, oh, yes, do we get a little bit of Bill Murray for the rest of this movie? Is he going to, tag along? And then they just rip him from you. And you're like, okay, that sucks. But then looking back, you're like, man, it makes you appreciate a lot more that he was only there for that small, short segment. And you're just like, what could have been. But it's definitely
gold,
Bill
though.
Murray.
It was gold.
Oh,
Why you like that? Well, it just makes it easier to go out and do stuff now.
yeah, right.
But even back in like when he was doing sketch comedy and everything, he's just very witty and but he's got that where he can like keep a straight face and be completely hilarious. Like, I don't understand why you're laughing at me, but I know that I'm funny. I mean, Stripes was another great movie that he was in. I love that one as well. But Groundhog Day, I think the reason is because every single time I watch that, I laugh at something different.
Phil, Ned. It's like,
If I had to relive a day, I'm gonna give one of those cheesy answers. Like I don't really regret a lot of things. Like they kind of, brought me to where I am. Like there was one time I fell asleep driving and it changed so much when I wrecked the car. Could have died. I mean, that day I probably should have been at my daughter's soccer game instead of playing, softball myself. But when that happened, it was kind of like, hey, get your priorities straight. I would say if it was my day, it would probably have to be a high school moment where I was a dumb kid, a dumb guy, thinking with the wrong head. And instead of staying to play high school basketball and have a spot on the team, I was like, yeah, I'm going to skip cut day. I'm going to go hang out with this girl that I just started dating. Look at me now. I'm not with her. Don't talk to her. Mm-hmm. And I got cut and I didn't get to play high school ball. So that's probably one of those I would take back for sure.
I'm trying to think if there's any of those days like he defined the whole rest of his life with like redoing things. Well, I'm going to woo Andy McDowell's character, but I'm going to try it this way and that. Oh, that didn't work, so I'm going to go back and now I know that she takes her pancakes with blueberries instead of strawberries or whatever it was. But like I don't really have a day that I would need to do that. I mean, I'm sure there's some days that I could do better as far as the wooing side of things. I don't know. What do you think, Will?
I don't know. I mean, I'm the strong believer of having not having the regrets, having it's all life experience. I've learned from it. I was a young dad and everything like that. So I don't know. It's tough to say like what day I would want to relive over and over to change my decisions. I really wouldn't have one. To be honest with you, that I would want to keep going over and over with.
That's a good point. Are there any days that like you would want to relive? Like, I mean, did you guys play sports in school where like if I had just done this, if I had just done a layup or instead of a slam dunk, or if I had just spiked the ball here instead of there, then I could have won the championship. Like there's certain games in high school where I would love to take it back. Like knowing what I know now, if I could be the player that I am now that I wish I would have been in high school, then like what could I have done with volleyball, or could I have stopped that shot for soccer, in goal? There's like those types of things, not regrets, but it would just be like, it would be fun to see what happens.
If you had time to think of that split decision that you made. Let me tell you something. I don't have any of those. And the reason is I was never good enough to even win a championship. So it doesn't really matter what I would have done. Maybe one more win on the season, but making it to a championship, that wasn't in this book.
Well, there was my senior year in volleyball. Had I been able to play back row, or had my coach not taken me out, we would have probably won districts. And as soon as I got taken out, because at the time you could only sub in 3 times, now it's a lot different the way that they play now. But if he would have left me in, we were so close to winning that, like I could have had a district championship underneath me, and then would I have gotten a better college scholarship than what I did, straight off the bat. There's like those types of things where the what ifs that would be fun to overplay it. Or to replay something, but
yeah, I guess going out, because I mean, I grew up playing baseball. I had a partial scholarship to go to a Division II school in North Carolina, but I didn't, because my daughter was born at the end of my junior year, so I didn't go out my senior year. So maybe going out and trying, or going back out for the team my senior year and giving it a run for the districts and stuff like that, because we competed every year. but never made it past the first round of playoffs. Something like that, I guess.
That's awesome, though. If you don't mind me asking, how old were you when you had your first child?
17.
17.
Yep.
I mean, I had mine at 21, but definitely had scares and other things come up. My mom had me at 16, so, but it's not something you'd ever take back. Like, it's one of those, like,
Right.
It's one of those great moments that, like, yeah, you grow up a little sooner than maybe people would really want to grow up.
Right.
But you get to stay young while they're growing up. You get to do things with them that a person having a kid in their 40s doesn't get to do. So I kind of had like the same kind of situation as you in a sense. I had an opportunity to go to Johnson and Wales and play D3 basketball.
Okay. You're right.
But when I got the rundown, they're like, you got to do this. You got school, you got off-season training, you got games, you have practice.
Yeah.
I looked at it. I got a daughter. When do I spend time with her? And B, when do I make money to support her?
Right.
So, like, looking back, but for me, it was cool because all I ever needed was that, hey, you were good enough to play. I'm good. I'm glad I didn't play, to be honest. Like, it would have took up 3 more years of my life, that I wouldn't have spent with her. So it's like just getting that offer is worth it all.
Yeah, it's like with my daughter, because she's a freshman now in college, and she played soccer since she was 3 years old and everything, and had D2 offers, D3 offers, and then, well, D3 doesn't give full rides or anything like that. They do academics, but then you had NA, the JUCO and NAIA were giving her offers, and she just came to a point of she had friends that played college and they had no life, and she's like, yeah, I really don't want to do that. I want to enjoy college. I kind of want to do that. So she's at college right now, living it up, having a good time in the pandemic as much as she can.
Yeah, right.
Well, I'm going to be a grandparent for the first time in February, and I will be 44. And I was thinking about it. I'm like, I'm kind of glad that that's happening, because of the fact, you had your child young, but you've been able to kind of be young to go through those major milestones instead of, like, if I had a kid now of my own. I was thinking about it. I'm like, I would be like in my 60s before they would be graduating from high school, and then 70s, by the time that they're going to get married, and I'll be that wrinkly old lady in the gold lame outfit or whatever at the wedding. I'm kind of glad that it's happening now, so that I have the energy to do all the fun things that grandparents like. And still, well, I guess I can't really send them home because she's going to be living here, but it's going to be fun. So Umpty says Bill Murray was the first choice for the role of Boone in Animal House, but Lorne Michaels had already allowed Belushi to be in it and didn't want to lose all the SNL cast, so he couldn't be in it. That's kind of sucks. And he said, speaking of basketball, Bill Murray's son Luke is an assistant coach for the University of Louisville men's basketball team and is known to show up for games. Really? Huh. Who knew? Umpty's got all kind. Umpty's like an Uber fan here.
Right. He's got all the info. Now that he dropped that out there, Bill Murray has to make an appearance and make a comment on being pushed aside for Animal House.
That's the one. If he did show up, that was what I was going to ask him. In the lines of the Groundhog Day whole movie was, is there a role that you wish that you could go back and get, or would you attack it differently that you wish you would have had? Like, there's some people that have said that who was it? Was it Brad Pitt or somebody that was supposed to be Neo in the Matrix movies or something and turned it down, or somebody turned something down and they said hey Tori, how bad that they wish that they had, they didn't think that it sounded right, so they didn't do that. So there's always those what ifs, like if I just done this just a little bit differently.
I feel like it might have been Forrest Gump, because I know Tom Hanks wasn't supposed to play Forrest. It was supposed to, I can't remember exactly who it was, but somebody else was supposed to play Forrest Gump, and they turned down the part.
Ooh.
Yeah, and then Tom Hanks just like destroyed that and like just blew it away, and like that I think that kind of set off his entire and like such a crazy path. Like I love Tom Hanks; he's a great actor. And like from what I hear, he's just a great person in general. Like, I don't know if you guys ever saw that picture on the internet where a guy had passed out at the bar, and like Tom Hanks showed up and like started taking pictures with his phone.
Yeah.
And then like left him beside him, and then the guy woke up the next morning. He's like looking through his phone. He's like, "What the hell?"
It's like, how did you feel that Tom Hanks? You just took pictures with Tom Hanks and have no idea or recollection that it ever happened. Sucks to be you. Right.
I can picture Bill Murray being like the same way though. It's like show up like, oh, that guy's drunk. Okay, here you go.
That's his son right there.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
Well, if I would have known this little fun fact, beforehand, I would have emailed him and said, "Hey, we're gonna be talking about your dad and all the cool things he's done throughout his life. Tell him to show up.
Yeah, get a hold of him.
Tell him we said hi."
That is awesome. I don't know. See, and I don't know if he just like kind of what I see with my eyes through him. I don't. If you ask him that question, I don't know if I don't know if there would be something that he regretted or wish he would have accepted that he didn't, like that kind of free spirit, kind of live every day to its fullest, like worry about today, not yesterday. That's kind of the vibe I catch from him. Like when I see him, I don't see this like, oh, what could have been. I always see just that.
He probably has regrets. You know what? I feel like he would have regrets about the movie Groundhog Day, just because of, I think, like from what I heard, that's what where him and Venkman had the falling out, or not Venkman, his buddy had the falling out, and they just kind of stopped talking to each other after that movie. I think, and then later on, his friend passed away. I can't remember the actor's name. He played Egon in Ghostbusters.
Harold Ramis.
Harold Ramis, that's it. So I think, and that's where he had the falling out with Harold Ramis. And then I guess when Ramis passed away, I think that was probably one of his regrets that he kind of let that.
That would make sense.
But I mean, other than that, I can't really see him having regrets about his roles and anything, because, like, I mean, every role that he does, he just nails it. Like, and like you said, like you were saying, Brandy, that like he can have that serious face. Keep that serious face, and like it's hilarious. But no, definitely it just seems like a very down to earth person.
For sure.
We haven't even talked about this character yet. Bernie McCracken.
Oh my god, that's the best.
Oh my god.
Kingpin.
Oh.
Woo! He stands up.
Give me that hair. Give me the hair.
Oh, by the end of the movie, and he's gyrating in the whole piece, and it's like, and I'm not getting political, but every single time, like, I see Trump now when they show him like his hair blowing in the wind, I think Ernie McCracken.
I don't blame you. That's awesome. I said, you know what? I said I wanted the hair, but I honestly want the shirt too. Like, I need both.
I want that bowling ball.
Just give me the whole thing.
That's it.
Now he's done some serious roles too, which has been great.
Lost in Translation.
Lost in Translation is one. The Shop Girl. Was that him? I think that was him. Let me look. I have my IMDb open just because I knew I was going to forget some clips. Isle of Dogs.
Oh, I forgot he was in Space Jam.
He was?
Yes. Oh, yes.
He was in Space Jam. My God, his character in Space Jam was awesome.
Oh,
I didn't know
He's like, can I play basketball?
Yeah.
Like, no, you won't make it. What? It's because I'm white? It's like, no. What are you talking about? Larry's white. It's like, Larry's not white. Larry's clear.
Larry's clear.
Like, what?
Garfield.
And then he gets
the voice of Garfield.
And then he gets sucked down the hole. And he's like, what did you just do? Don't point that thing at me. Camera.
He gets his moment, late in the movie.
Yeah.
Rushmore.
That was a great one.
I didn't know he was in Wild Things too.
Monuments Men. I think that was more of a it was a comedy serious role, because I think that was based on actual events. The Monuments Men.
The Rushmore movie was one of those ones where he could be a complete a-hole and still look awesome. What's going on, Dead Zone? Hey, Matthew.
Where the Buffalo Roam. I guess it couldn't have been that serious of a movie if he was playing what's his face, the drug addict there. I don't know. Johnny Depp did an amazing job in Fear and Loathing. What is his name? What is his name? He passed away. Jeez, what's the actual guy's name? H.S.S. Thompson or something like that?
I suck with names.
Hunter S. Thompson, that's it.
Yeah, okay.
That's his name, yeah. I think Johnny Depp did the best part. It's, as much as I love Burt Murray, like Johnny Depp was just like, that was just great.
Johnny Depp is such a weirdo.
Oh, yeah.
That is one
definitely.
weird individual.
I heard his wife was like very abusive to him too, like to the point where she like chopped off a finger, like part of his finger with a cigar cutter.
Oh my!
Amber Heard, right? Is his wife?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Like,
all the stuff is going so back and forth between them, and as far as what actually happened. And I have to defend Johnny Depp because my mother is obsessed with him. Well, she's obsessed with Jack Sparrow. Let's put it that way.
He's a very good actor. He gets into his parts like very well.
I think he's so good at being an actor because of his personality. Him being so weird, like made it to where it was easy to adapt to whatever character he was supposed to fill. Because I mean, just listen to that guy talk on like any kind of interview or anything. It's just like this guy could go anywhere. He's the type of guy I would want to hang out with, though. Like, he's not your predictable, yeah, I guess we'll just run up to the bar, grab a few drinks, and, we'll hang out for the night. If you kick it with Johnny Depp, I don't think you can really pinpoint anything on what your night might entail.
You shut your mouth when you're talking to me, Matthew.
Throwing a little Wedding Crashers into there. You shut your mouth when you're talking to me. Oh my God, that's a great movie.
I mean, out of my favorite roles, I think Groundhog Day is one of my favorite of Murray's. Caddyshack is one of my favorites. What About Bob is one of my favorites. Scrooge. I think those are like my top 4 of his roles. Rushmore was good just because I was just like, he had just the ultimate like alpha male roll down so well, like smooth, slick. The Aquatic Life, that was a little weird for me. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think it did very well in the box office because I don't think I'm the only one who thought it was a little weird, but he's just amazing. Can you change your name to Debbie? Why? Look at Umpty. I'm friends with a guy who grew up with Thompson and is good friends with Depp. Depp actually lived with Thompson so he could learn him and paid for his elaborate funeral. Really? Huh.
Well, he definitely did a great job acting as him. And I love the excuse throughout the whole movie why the ads are like tripping out. It's like, oh, sorry, my friend has a heart condition. It's always a heart condition. It's like, what? The guy's like tripping out on acid, like everything's going. Oh, it's just, I leave for 2 minutes. You got a gun waving around all the place.
So let's talk about we're going to segue into our other. We were asked to bring on My Pet Monster, and I'm going to see if I can get this just to show just a little bit. I knew what the doll was. I did not know that there was
the cartoon.
The cartoon.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And then
there's a live action movie as well.
There was like a bigger monster too that always picked on him.
Yep.
Five again.
So here's my question for you guys. Do you guys think that this was their attempt to hang on, let me pause this. Was their attempt to kind of bring the dolls to the male side of things? And my second part of the question about this particular character, this My Pet Monster, is You think that would fly today, considering that he had handcuffs on?
I mean, I look at him now, and that's the first thing I think of. I was like, well, this monster's into some bondage. I don't know. I just look at him like, well, I mean, that's just the first thing that pops into my mind now when I look at it. I seen the pictures of the pops that are getting released, and I just kind of giggle to myself. I'm not gonna lie, my mind goes straight to the gutter 90% of the time. So I look at it, and I'm just like, oh, that's awesome. I mean, half my girlfriends have looked like that, so of course that's exactly
A big wart on the nose.
Oh yeah. Oh, not only on the nose. Well, that's okay. All right, we'll leave that alone.
I see that show and it just like automatically reminds me of all like the commercials that came along with it, like Saturday morning. And then like I don't know if you guys had that in the States, but it was like, after these messages, we'll be right back. And it's like all these things, but like, oh my god, yeah, just seeing that, it's like reminds me of all the other cartoons that came after, like Garfield and Friends and Inspector Gadget. Like what were the other ones that came along with that? G.I. Joe, Captain Planet, the Planeteers.
Loved Captain Planet too.
Yeah, I did too.
Like these were all like the old school cartoons, and it makes me just think back of all these cartoons that flush through my head. It's like, oh my god, I remember all these things.
Oh, the California Raisins too that I remember. The Smurf, Gummy Bears, and the Gummy Bears were supposed to come out with pops of the Gummy Bears, and then I think that got put aside with COVID. But they were supposed to come out with that whole thing. Shirt Tails was another one. They lived in a tree. I don't know if they were in a zoo, but there was an orangutan, a panda bear, a raccoon, and a mole, I think were the four. And they had a little red car, like RC car kind of thing that they could, and they all had different shirts, and they, like when they had expressions and stuff, it would show up on their chest. Those are all the ones we watched. And then if you remember, like after that commercial, when it said after these, we'll be right back, then there was like 5 minutes of like toy commercials and cereal, like really sugary cereals, and you're all like, oh, I want that.
Best cereal back in the day. Like they don't have the types of cereal that we have. Like even in Canada, we don't have, like, we'll get it during the Halloween, but we don't get Count Chocolate anymore. We don't get the berry, the Frankenberry, or any of that. Like we just don't get it. We don't get Fruity Pebbles anymore. Like I visited my parents in Washington D.C. and they had the Fruity Pebbles kind of Rice Krispies. Yo, I went over there and I bought like 6 boxes of this shit, and I'm just like, I'm just like dumping it. Like, what are you having for dinner? Pebbles.
Pebbles.
Yeah, see, like the Frankenberry, the Count Chocula, and the Boo Berry were just out at Target the other day. Like I could literally get you boxes of those.
Yeah.
Oh, I miss Count Chocula. That was probably one of my favorite cereals growing up, and then they just took it away from us.
I loved the other two, Frankenberry, Boo Berry. I love those cereals. I just tried them like 6 months ago, and it tastes terrible. Like either they've switched something up, or my taste buds have changed, or something. But I ate it, and I was like, no, we'll put that back. Like,
just because the dyes they used back in the 80s can now kill you, so they realized that after we all were like, was it Red Dye 40 or whatever?
Yeah.
Well, it can't be any worse than Funko cereal.
I heard those are horrible. I've never tasted any of them.
I had what was that? What did I have? The Rick and Morty. Anyways, they were blue, and like I'm like, let me try this. And I took a bite of it, and I was like, this genuinely tastes like plastic. Like this tastes.
I'm gonna try it. I've heard terrible things, therefore I automatically am interested in trying it. So
like, don't eat a bowl. Don't eat a bowl of it.
No,
eat a bowl of that shit. Like eat it like a handful maybe, but a bowl is like you're gonna be like, I just wasted all this cereal.
Yeah,
like
if that's what they want to call it.
Yeah, that's it. And then somebody was telling me, he's like, it's toxic. I'm like, yeah, you know what? I wouldn't if it tastes like plastic, it probably is fucking plastic.
Yes.
Dead Zone, please tell me that you had one of these when you were a kid. Like, please tell me that that's what you're talking about, that you had this. The Munchie cheese, you guys, I don't know if you guys, that might have been younger than you guys, but I remember these.
No, never had one of those.
I remember seeing them. I never owned one, but I've seen those, yeah.
I owned a couple, actually.
I don't think I
it's worth a lot of money now. The Teddy Ruxpins.
Oh yeah,
those things are worth so much money. If you got it in the package, Dollars. You're looking at dollars right there.
That's the problem, though, is that when we were
Nobody got
kids,
that shit backwards.
if you knew what you knew now about all of that stuff, then yes, you would have totally have kept that.
I don't think I would have. Oh, she cut out. Like, looking back, I'm glad I took everything out of the box and played with it and was a kid, because I see some kids now that collecting is a way of having fun, and they don't take anything out of the box. And it's like, what are you going to do when you go look back and they do what we're doing right now and they start talking to people about it and they're like, oh yeah, I had this.
Totally
oh, do you remember when
I took myself out?
What about when he had, like, his arm would shoot off when he clicked the button? I don't know. It always stayed in the package. No, I'm glad, I had all the original Ninja Turtles. I had some of the rare wrestling figures. I don't care about the money at this point. Like, it was so instrumental in my childhood, and that's what I spent hours upon hours doing. No, that's fine. They can stay out of the box.
I had some of the Ghostbusters, like the original cartoon Ghostbusters, where like the heads would like pop and like the face would change, like ah,
Yeah.
and then I could go back and it'd be like a normal face. Yeah.
The Power Rangers used to do that.
Show. That was another show that was awesome on the weekends. Was the cartoon Ghostbusters.
Yep.
Oh, loved it.
There you go. $225 working with the book in the box.
Oh, jeez. Teddy Ruxpin. I know I kept when I was in the 7th grade. I think it was the 7th grade or 6th grade. That's when episode 1 of Star Wars came out. And I was like, and I had known that like all the original Star Wars pieces were worth a lot of money in box. So I'm like, I'm just gonna go out and buy as many freaking many characters as I can. And I just kept them in box forever. And they're still not worth shit.
Yep.
Yeah, Mama J, I had Star Wars toys too from 1977.
What? Yeah, well, this guy right here, I mean, we bought this for my son 3 years ago.
What?
And yeah, because I had one when I was little that I had the cuffs and everything. Because this was one of my favorite toys growing up. This and Ninja Turtles, and $90 3 years ago, off of eBay.
Wow! And did it come with the handcuffs?
Yeah, somewhere in his room.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
that's totally worth it.
And it's in great condition. I mean, it's got some scuffs on the face and everything, but no tears. We took the batteries out. He still works where he'll talk to you and everything, and we'll put the batteries out because it was scaring our son a little bit. So it's like,
so that one talked to you too and like interacted? I didn't know that.
Yeah, you push him and he'll speak to you.
Did you guys get those commercials too? I don't know if you got them in the States, but Hal Jordan, like Body Break, Hal Jordan and Joanne McLeod. And then they talk health for about 2 minutes during like the middle. Oh, we got those in Canada all the time, and they talk health for like 2 minutes, like just in the middle of like sugar candy this and fun game that and Body Break.
You want to see the creepster that we had when growing up? Slim. I'll show you the creepster. And again, this is something else that wouldn't fly now because this guy is in a full-on leotard.
Wouldn't fly now because everybody's too damn emotional. Yeah.
No, because the fact that his junk is like completely hanging out.
Exactly. Too emotional.
You're too emotional. If you don't like it, throw a baby diaper on it. You'll be fine.
Look at that. Look at that guy. Slim Goodbody.
It kind of looks like Richard Simmons.
He does kind of look
like Simmons. Yes, he does.
Guys, come on. That's just Richard Simmons. Come on.
But he's in a full. Look at him now, though.
Not so much Goodbody.
Yeah, no, definitely slim.
Definitely slim, but he did not do a body good. Oh, apparently we have the New Age one. This guy's all taken over.
Some like jacked out dude, like I'm Mr. Body.
You guys cannot do the rides, man.
Seriously. Let me
show the effects.
Can't scratch my back. Hey, little dude, come here.
Golden says my aunt has an entire room of old toys. Well, you need to get in there. One thing I regret losing the most is some original Macho Man postcard-sized photos that they sold at the match. Of course, I got mine signed before he turned bad guy. Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I miss old wrestling. Oh, I miss the Ultimate Warrior. He was my favorite.
He grew up roughly 30 minutes away from my house.
Well, that's awesome. Remember he's like,
Yeah, he was nuts, and he spent a lot of time back in his hometown, even after he was signed and doing WWE or WWF stuff. He still spent a lot of time. He's a local to a lot of the places up there. Unfortunately, cool. I didn't ever run into him, but.
So, Will, what was it about My Pet Monster that you liked so much? Like, what were you drawn to about either the character or the toy itself?
He was a monster. I don't know. I mean, I was fascinated with scary stuff. Grew up, with 80 horror movies, 90 horror movies. So to have a My Pet Monster that, I loved it.
80s horror movies are just
I have an original Captain Kangaroo doll, Umpty.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if I think he still has his jacket on. I don't know if he has his tie anymore, but it's a Captain Kangaroo doll.
As soon as you say that, all I want to say is kangaroo song, kangaroo song. Like I just think
Big Daddy,
and hop, hop, hop all day. Like
it just stops and like pukes all over.
No, this was another. These are all the things like the Bozo Show now. Like every time I see the Bozo Show, I think about the drunk clown that falls and hits its head in Billy Madison.
Oh, yes.
The Bozo Show, I actually made my own grand prize game with the buckets and the balls, everything for Drunken Olympics.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Let me see if I can find this. This is like this old dude. It was.
You guys remember the old like say Freddy Krueger, like the first couple movies, like. As like growing up, you're like terrified, but now you like watch it, and I just start laughing like so much at his lines. It's just like he shows up in one movie as like a chef, and he just starts like overfeeding this girl.
Right.
What's going on here?
That's Captain Kangaroo.
That's all sideburn right there.
Yeah, and check out that almost unibrow too. What's going on, LBD?
Wow.
It was a good.
Kind of terrifying. That's like, I would never let somebody like that watch my kids. That's for sure.
No, not at all. Not at all.
I got some free candy in my van. Come on down.
I have never seen that in my life. I had no idea what you were talking about. So my reference to the kangaroo song was way off base, but
that's like evil Mr. Rogers.
That's him later. Like I don't know if that's a wig or he just kept the hairstyle. I really don't know. This is after he's got the comb over too.
I mean, now he's sliding more John Wayne Gacy, but
he does look like John Wayne Gacy.
Yeah, he's starting to slide more John Wayne Gacy as he gets older. That's definitely not watching my kids. So,
speaking of John Wayne Gacy, did you ever? I don't know if you guys ever heard of a show. It's also on YouTube. It's called Mr. Ballin.
No.
He does. If you like strange stories and stuff and like creepy stories, like he's like a storyteller. He does a really good job, and he talks about John Wayne Gacy and like how like this college student was like hitchhiking home one day, and this guy picked him up, and he's like, oh, he seemed really nice. He was all talkative and stuff, and then as they're going, he tells him where he wants to go, and as they're going, Buddy he takes a wrong turn. The guy's like, you're supposed to take a turn back there, and he's like, oh, like you're coming with me. And then the guy like kind of panicked and like just as this car slowed down, he like jumped out of the door and like took off and like rolled out. But like years later, they're watching an interview of John Wayne Gacy and they're asking him, they're like, so like, why did you take all the locks out and handles out of your car? And he's like, oh, because the first person I picked up got wise to it and he had unlocked the door and he got out and took off running. And then the guy's like, what the?
Like that was me. Thank God I was first.
Oh yeah. He's like, oh my God. Like, and like he tells a lot of stories like that are just like, wow. So if you like stories like that, I'd check out Mr. Ball, and he's pretty popular. I think he's like 600,000 subscribers.
Oh wow.
But like the way he tells a story, like he explained it in one of his like how he became, because he used to be a Navy SEAL for like 7 years. And he went from Navy SEAL to like scary storyteller. And the way he puts himself, like he sits and practices something for like 5 hours before he starts telling him, and he puts himself in the situation to the point where when he's telling the story, it's like he was there.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and it's just like, wow. Like, and you're like, what the hell? And he likes to talk a lot about the 411, which is David Pulaski. And it's just like these missing people stories where like you're talking to somebody, you turn around, and then you turn back and they're just gone. And like sometimes they get found and they're like in places that like almost impossible to get to.
So you're saying there's aliens?
Well, it's like they have no idea. Like some of the stories, it's just crazy, and it's like it's all true stories. Sometimes he pulls up, like because he was a Navy SEAL, he knows a lot of police officers and private investigators and all like that. He gets actual police reports, and like and there was one that was like a demon story, like a possession, like a demon house, and he's like. When he got it, he's like, when I first got this police report, I'm like, this is not true. Like, you're messing with me. And the guy's like, no, that is the actual police report from the story, like from what actually happened. And it was just messed up. So I'd say check him out, Mr. Ballin.
Mr. Ballin on YouTube. Okay.
Check him out. We're gonna get him on the show and have him tell everybody a story.
Heck yeah.
That's
you know, the two shows I've been watching a lot is Drunk History, and then they brought back Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Oh, yeah.
My God, I was dying yesterday morning. I was watching Hercules, and all the comments that those guys do. I don't know who the writers are on Mystery Science Theater 3000, but it's hilarious. Like, it's
I've
totally
never even heard of it.
You never what? Okay,
I've never heard of it.
I've definitely heard of it, but I've never actually seen an episode.
Yeah.
They take like movies from like the 50s and 60s, and they basically overlay their own soundtrack of like what they think's going on. And he's like, he could be like laying in a woman's lap and he'll be like, okay, baby, you know, if you just rub me right here. Just the way that they do it. But there was like a part where there's like an old paper mache Hydra that this Hercules guy was fighting. And you could just see the fake knife, like wiggling all over and it's smacking against the paper and everything. And they were talking about it. And only Hercules could do this. And they have voices and everything else. And, oh, look at her. Oh, look at me. Da, da, da. But if you watch it, I mean, I'm not doing it justice because I'm not a comedian. That and then Drunken History, where these people, they get these people wasted. And
Yeah, I heard about that one.
Historic stories.
Anyways, who's the chocolate shit? I'm out of liquor.
So anyway, you know, Martha Washington, she decides to put legs in the air, marries George, and he's crossing the effing river, and you're like, what? But those are two great ones if you want to laugh, and then if you want a scary story, then Mr. Ballin right there.
Yeah, definitely some crazy stuff.
So you're telling me I have options to go watch things like this instead of, you know, tracking down the drunk homeless man down the road and listening to him?
Yes, and it's a lot safer.
A lot safer. A lot cheaper, too. They always hustle me. Not to you know, go off track any more than we're going to already, but I always get hustled by those guys. They are really good at their job. They're great actors.
So, Chris, what do you got going on? What do you got coming up on your shows?
I think it's either this week or next week. We're hosting with the Reasonable Gentleman on Funko's After Dark.
Nice.
And then we kind of just wing it every week, and and the show just keeps getting better and better. And then I do have a do-it-yourself pop that I'm supposed to around with, and then I just released something where I put this Lego dude to get never bought I'm gonna tell you something. This thing here, I gotta be careful with it because it's freaking annoying to put together, but it's like a 3D puzzle.
Oh yeah, I've seen those.
And it's just a nightmare to put together. It took me 2 hours to put it together, but I did it in a time-lapse video. And as I'm doing it, as I'm putting it together, the head popped off, so you can see in the blooper reel that I do. I'm like, the head. You gotta be careful with these things, but it's definitely awesome. I try to mix it up a bit, not just do pops. I try to do a variety of things, like comic books. I started getting into the 10-inch pops now, but the thing is, I'm running out of room, so I bought 2 new shelves. And then you can see behind me here, I got a comic book kind of starting display. So I got Cosmic Ghost Rider #1 Virgin cover, I got this Cold Blood Samurai #1, Return of Wolverine #1. And then just the other day, also I showed off in the same video, I had one of my buddies hand draw me, because I'm such a big fan of the Green Lantern. He hand sketched this for me. And it's a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be.
Oh, yeah, that's sick.
So it's Hal Jordan fighting Sinestro.
Sinestro, yeah.
Which is like hand drawn, like sick. Like the guy's
amazing.
What's that?
That's amazing.
Yeah. He's an amazing artist, Aurelio Rigoni, and right now he's actually making me another one that's Batman and Robin fighting Green Hornet and Bruce Lee at Kato.
Nice.
Oh.
So I'm excited to see what he does with that. Sometimes I just give him an idea and he runs with it, and I'm like always like, wow, you know.
Yeah, it's like my mind's not able to create this image, so I'm just going to tell you what I like, and you do it, and it comes back crazy good. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's done some really like nice pieces. Like he's always posting, and he always does he does commissions for anybody. I found him on like a comic book cover Facebook group. When I got really into comic books, I just started like joining all these comic book Facebook groups, and then I actually found this guy like through sketches, and I started liking all those things. He's like, "Oh, I thank you for liking all my stuff. Did you want me to do something for you?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, I want you to do something for me." I'm like, "I love Green Lantern." He's like, and they started showing me all his Green Lantern. There's one where he's actually like it's Sinestro and Hal Jordan fighting, and then you got Green Lantern with a massive dragon behind him, and then like a huge tiger for Sinestro. See if I can find it because he sent me the picture of it. But it was just like absolutely, I was just blown away by the artwork. I don't know how people do these type of artworks. Like, here's one that he did of Rick and Morty.
Hang on, there you go. I can put you up big.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, nice.
So like the Joker and all that.
Oh yeah, I would take the Pennywise cover. Oh.
And then see where the other one is I was talking about. He's like, I can do it, and he was just showing me all the stuff he could do, and I was like, wow. Okay, here it is.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh
Nice
yeah,
wraparound cover. Nice.
yeah, those pieces are always so sick.
Oh yeah.
That is really cool.
Oh, there you go. There's the focus. So like, I was like, wow. Like I definitely, and then you just did like a regular one, like
Nice.
Big head. Oh yeah, it looks better when we zoomed in. It almost looked like a Scotty Young type thing, like a baby big head.
Oh yeah, this guy is just like an amazing. He just did so many. Oh, like, and then there's the tribute to all the other Green Lanterns. He just started showing me everything. You got Alan Scott, Hal Jordan. Sorry, I'm trying to focus a little better.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh,
There you go.
there we
Hey,
go.
Juliana.
So the
Wow.
guy's just an amazing artist. Just an amazing artist, and I was like some of the things that he does like a lot of. I saw one that he did with like Spawn, Batman.
Mhm.
And I was like, that was cool, and I'm thinking like that's probably going to be something else in the future. Ask him to do like Spawn, Batman versus like the Ninja Turtles. I like giving him like really messed up ideas that he can just run with.
Oh yeah, that's.
I'm happy I found him too because he's like, I really like that. Like, oh, dude, I'm like, you are going to get a lot of business from me.
Don't worry, I'll pay your rent.
I pointed out the back. I'm like, you see all these? I'm like, I want every single frame to be like one of the pictures that you hand sketched. It's like the whole thing could be sketches from you. And there's like 12 spots. So, or wait, yeah, 12 spots available.
Nice. So what do you got coming up on your channel?
Me?
Mhm.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I couldn't really hear that. Well, after having a week off because of computer issues, I've got a box battle tomorrow against the wife, and then my live stream every Wednesday. I've got comic books every Thursday and Saturday. I do have a mystery box that has a custom sketch cover from Squatchy Comics. I just got that today, so I'm probably going to do that for next week. But yeah, he does some great work. I have a Joker cover that he did, and I got it graded, and it was a 9.8 yellow label, so it's pretty awesome to have.
Well, very cool.
Wow.
So what time are your guys' live streams again? Just to remind everybody and anybody who's going to watch this on the replay.
Every Wednesday, 9:30 Eastern.
Chris, what time are you on?
Every Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern. For about an hour and a half. Sometimes it goes, depending on like what we're going. Sometimes we really get in depth in what we're talking about, and it trails on. I think the longest one we're going is like I was about to sign off. I'm like, yeah, everybody, and then we had two people show up out of the blue, like Bearded Pop and Captain Pop showed up out of the blue, and then we ended up going for another hour.
You look up, and you're like,
partner's on the side. He's like, hey guys, like I gotta go to bed.
Well, we're kind of sandwiched between because like right now McDorks is starting their live. They're two awesome guys. Cody starts his Wheel of Misfortune, and right before us, what Cheap and Nerdy I think has a live stream or at the same time as us, and Homespun Happy Hour, which I love those two. They're great. They gave us something for the charity event at the end of Night Owls, and I'm just awesome people. It's so hard to find time anymore where you're not competing with people because you know like. I've watched both of you guys and trying to find time to like see everybody and then also like have the family life that's upstairs.
so hard.
Mm-hmm.
You can't watch everybody, right? It's just
You can't.
I mean, there's like a couple I select and I watch. Like I try to jump in, but it's like I even got like another channel going where I explore abandoned places and like
that's something that's something I'm into. Also, that's awesome.
Well, if you check it out, I could send you the link.
Yeah, please do.
Fun, but the last one of the buildings I went into, it was like a graffiti, like I called it graffiti paradise, and like a classified graffiti paradise. So if you pop that in the search bar, like I'll pop up. But we did an abandoned barn house that looked like it was an old meth lab. We just went into an old school barn that like kind of burned down, but like we got attacked by this bird. When my buddy got attacked by this bird, like walk in this room, like, what is that? Is that a bat? And he's like, no, it's a bird. It's like, whoosh! Holy crap! Shit! And then like we explored a mill from like that was built in in the 19th century, in like 1850s, and it's like in a ghost town.
Oh,
but we do all this at night, and sometimes like in that one, it's just music playing, like kind of creepy music, because like we weren't really talking because we were watching our footing. Because it's like you can see termites like eating the wood. I'm like, okay, guys, I'm just gonna be quiet and watch my footing and just videotape.
No, I love watching those videos. I've watched them where they've gone to like the Disney Island and to like the old Nickelodeon studios, and then castles and places like that. I love watching those abandoned.
Oh, I've been trying to get a hold of. There's an abandoned sanitarium in Muskoka that I've been trying to get a hold of the township to get permission to enter that one. There's an abandoned hotel, like an abandoned hotel from the 80s that has all the old school furniture still in there. Like everything's like not touched. Nobody knows who the owner is, so I had to go through the land, the land registry to find out who the owners are. And then there's an old prison, Burswich prison, that we're going to go exploring at night.
Oh, that's cool.
And then Old Kingston Pen. I emailed Old Kingston Pen, and they actually got back to me like right away. And they're like, "Oh, thanks for your inquiry. Like right now, because of COVID, we can't really help you out. But it's like if you contact us next year, it's like we'll definitely accommodate you, and you'll be able to go in and like spend the night in one of the cells and all that stuff." So it's like, yeah.
Oh, that would be fun. Yeah, my mom keeps trying to talk me into, because I'm the world's biggest chicken, and going on like those ghost things that with my best friend, because they usually come up around her birthday. And I'm like, only if I can wear Depends, because I know that I'm going to crap myself. And someone's going to have to tie my hands behind my back because I know that I'm going to accidentally reach out and try to hit something. So I've always wanted to do the ghost hunting. Like I love watching the ghost hunting shows, but like going in those abandoned buildings, I'm telling you, I would be right up against your back holding onto your shirt for dear life because I am the biggest chicken in the world.
Oh, one of them I went to by myself. Like I went by myself. I was like, okay, like my friends couldn't make it that night. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going. I'm going for it.
Oh, it's
like,
so much better for your adrenaline too.
Oh, that's it too. Like, I had my mask up like this. I had a mask on and everything. I'm like, at one point, I'm like hiding in the bushes because cars are passing and I wasn't supposed to be there. So I'm like, jump in the bushes. I'm like, Okay, we're good. Start running up. The next thing you know, it's like just like holy crap, you know.
I have something kind of planned like that coming up in October. I have some friends that they say they're into that kind of stuff, but they're trying to back out of it. So we're gonna go to, I can't remember exactly where it is. I believe it's somewhere in Tennessee. There's an abandoned, like old Western style town, like super old, nothing there, and they've
sanded in. There's like a foot of sand everywhere. I think I know what you're talking about.
It might be. I haven't seen it in a long time, and I have not looked it up yet to plan when we're going. But they're like, you can go, but it's supposedly super haunted. They've refused to tear it down. Supposedly, there's been like stories around that like something stops them from tearing it down or something, whatever. But my goal is I want to go. I want the crap scared out of me.
That's it.
What they don't know is we're staying the night. So I'm telling them we're staying the night. We're going to stay in separate spots, right? So, all the couples, it'd be like 3 or 4 couples. So we'll all stay in different spots. Well, the next night, after we stay there and everybody gets there, their fear built up a little bit and they're, you hear the little bumps in the night. I'm going to cause chaos and I'm recording every second of it. I am going to mess with them so bad and have it recorded. It is going to be beautiful.
You need to set up little cameras in every little area.
Yeah,
he's gonna go all Blair Witch on him and hit the tent, and he's gonna get his butt.
That's exactly what I thought about. I was like, Blair Witch was completely fake, but they did it so well. I was like, we could do a fan film. Well, I can do a fan film. They have no idea because we're not good actors. But if they don't know, it's true fear. So we might do a little trial run. I'll never tell them it was me. And then I might invest in some cameras in the next spot to where I can actually, because I suck with editing and stuff like that. And so I'm like, I got to get somebody a little smarter than me to be in on it, but that's definitely going to happen. I know none of them are watching right now. That's the only reason I'm talking about it, but it's got to happen. I mean, I'm that guy. I don't know why people stay friends with me, but it is what it is. Also, I'll throw out there.
You'll see right away who's into it. Like everybody's like, oh yeah, let's do that. You do that. Right away who's going to be into it and who's not. Like, who's got the balls for it and who doesn't. Because after that first trip, you see who backs out and you're like, oh, yeah, okay, yeah. It's not for everybody, this type of stuff.
No, it's not. Actually, and what I'm thinking is I might as well go balls to the wall. I might as well go all out because I really don't think they'll do it again. This is really going to be.
After you terrorize them like that.
Oh, well, I'm thinking if we all ride, say we take, I don't know how we're going to do this. I want to let some air out of tires. I want to scare the shit out of people. I want them to think, oh my God, we can't get in our car and leave. Like, I probably shouldn't do that, but
pre-go. It's too bad you couldn't pre-go and set up some like booby traps and stuff like.
Oh, I know. It'd be amazing. It'd be so much fun. I want to see my friends cry. I just
like set up some wireless speakers and have like sounds and stuff like just like different places.
Get out of here! What the hell was that?
Alexa, play the werewolf sound.
I don't want to be here when the walls start to bleed.
and I guarantee there's going to be no cell service. So
nice.
I mean, it hasn't been touched since what? I don't know, 20s, 30s. There's no way they have a tower, or they're going to have towers that are going to reach. Oh yeah. They're going to be so scared. I'm going to be scared. I'm not going to lie. It's going to be a little creepy, but when I know that I get to terrorize people, I mean, I don't care. I'll stay scared.
Well, boys, I have something to finish the night off of. This is something that everybody used to love so much, and it just kind of happened today when I was at work. So I found some new people at Walmart.
Oh, yes.
Yes. And I love the McDorks, but can you guys not totally see the McDorks wearing these outfits?
Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
Ramen noodle.
Oh, I want that outfit.
And then we were talking about Hulk Hogan, so who wore it better?
Oh my.
Now, this is something I wish I would have thought of because this is excellent use of kiddie pools. Now, some
Oh
mud
my
fenders there,
God,
boys.
That's awesome.
But you
That's
totally
how
know that there's baby duckies on the inside of that.
Oh yeah, that's not balling on a budget. That's mudding on a budget right there. That is
Heck yeah.
Ah,
They'll never rust, kid.
love it. Right. If they do, you just throw new ones on there.
Can I ask a question though? How the hell does that happen?
My mom was driving.
Like, how do you get going fast enough in a Walmart parking lot to back yourself up over another vehicle?
I don't know. I don't even know how you explain that.
Crack's a powerful drug. Like that's that's
What the hell is that?
It's a skunk.
Just bringing his pet skunk.
Yeah.
Terry, let's go.
I honestly can't think of a single reason.
Terry, you smell terrible today.
that what oh
He's my deodorant tester. I found a picture of Troy on a motorcycle.
oh that is awesome.
Sex knows it.
I even shaved my legs for that picture. That might be in reference to a video that has not been aired.
Nice.
Ketchup bottle
What is that?
tattoo.
Oh jeez.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
That's a drunken night.
yeah.
What tattoo you want? I love ketchup.
Preach. What's it say?
Bitches be tripping.
Oh, that is awesome. Oh God.
And the sad part is those were all like I realized I hadn't changed it in a while, and I ripped off like a month, and I was like, oh my God, these are good. I'm gonna bring them on tonight. Like this is something I would do when I was drunk in my 20s.
Oh
Heck yeah.
my.
Heck yeah. All right, boys. Well, we are going to end the night because I know there's other shows and people are going to get off to those other shows. But thank you both for coming. Let me get off big screen. I don't like looking at myself that big. Thank you guys both for coming tonight, and I appreciate it, and bringing, my pet monster, because I've never seen one in person. My friends had one like back in the day. I haven't seen one in person in 30 years. So that was awesome, Will. I appreciate it. Chris, I appreciate you coming in. It's been an absolute blast, and you were supposed to be on the Night Owls, and then Night Owls ended, so we didn't end up doing that show. So I'm so glad that I was able to get you on Collector TV with me, because
no worries. Anytime. I'm always down to join anybody's lives whenever I'm available. It's a good way to meet new people too, and like at Property Outlaws, I just kind of subbed to you today because
Thank you.
Like I didn't really know who you were all that much, and like now that I know you, it's like okay, yeah, definitely chill. And Average Will, I've always kind of been sub to you for a while. I kind of pop in on your Wednesday night comic book talks. I don't really say much, but I kind of just sit there and listen. But it's definitely cool to meet people and like talk to new people, and then it gets your face out there too, right?
Exactly.
Right. And that's like you get to understand somebody a little bit more than just watching their videos or talking to them on Instagram, because everything that is totally different than being on alive with somebody. So that's kind of what I do. Like as I've been on lives with people, I'm like, oh, all right, that person's awesome. I'm gonna go sub to their channel and start watching their stuff, because I've actually been able to have a conversation with them that was more than just, hey, what pop are you selling, or oh, that was a cool video. It means there's just a little more to it, I guess.
You get the whole personality of the person in alive.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what it is.
Well, honestly, I've been watching Will's just because I keep trying to learn more and more about comics, because that's I don't know why it's so uncomfortable for me with the comics thing, even though I like the comics and I have a ton of them, but it's very uncomfortable for me now, like trying to learn all the different words and everything else. And I'm trying to get rid of that, because I really want to, get back into that and start checking those out. Hugs to you, Matthew, too. Thank you for showing up tonight. And I appreciate it. He said, you all did good.
Thanks, Matthew.
But I don't have an outro, because we have not decided what we're doing on the next show just yet, so I don't have the outro ready. But look for that coming up probably later this week on Instagram. Make sure that you guys go and like and subscribe Lumberjack Pop channel and Average Will's channel. Go give them some love. Make sure you guys hit that bell so you guys can catch everything that they've got coming up. And
hey, be prepared for that that bracket style tournament we're gonna hold.
yes, and so I'll get you guys some more information on that. We did fill it, by the way.
Oh yes, awesome.
Closed, 16 people. I mean, we'd have to do another 16 to even. I don't even know. We can't. I think I could add. I figured out how to add 4 more, and then like the top 2 would get a bye into the semifinals if we did it that way. But yeah,
I say we hold it like it is.
Less than 8 hours, so
That's gonna be a
another person
blast.
that may want a spot, and I'll give my spot up if they want it. So
Same here.
Thank you to everybody. It's going to be a good time. We're going to get you guys out the new information on that bracket style battle, and if it works out really well and everybody likes it, we'll do it again after the holidays when everybody recoups their money. Thank you to J Navo Toys. So he's the guy who's doing the boxes for us. Reached out to him and he said, absolutely, that'd be a cool idea. So we'll get you guys some more information on that as well. And then I've got some unboxing stuff that's going to be coming out as well. So I don't know which channel. I'll probably put it on the other channel because this is mine and Troy's thing, and the other channel is my thing. So well, it'll be out there soon enough. But thank you guys. You guys have a great rest of your week. Check out Geeky Mama Bear's channel tomorrow night. Her 1,000 subscribers show is tomorrow night. So give her some tomorrow night.
Congratulations.
I hope I didn't forget anything major announcements. Not that I can think of, but yeah, check out Geeky Mama Bear tomorrow night. Juliana, what time are you on? I think she's on, 9 Eastern. I think so. Not really.
Let's give a big thank you for Bill Murray joining the session.
Yeah, Bill Murray, thank you.
Great. Thank you for your time.
Anytime you guys need me, you just let me know.
Awesome.
All right, guys. Everybody have a wonderful night.
Have a great night, everybody.
Monday. Go check out McDorks and Cody. All right.